Welcome, friends. It is another edition of Unlocked. It's IGN's Xbox show, the world's #1 Xbox show. We've got lots to cover for you this week, including some topics I guarantee you never possibly saw coming. Beginning with Inside, our 2016 10 out of 10, one of the few games we've given a 10 to in the last couple of years. My Game of the Year vote didn't quite win, but it's back in a way you'll never possibly fathom. It involves the company Real Doll, so I'm just going to leave that there. Also, Far Cry 5 is getting a very unique map editor that's, even if you don't care about Far Cry per se, you're going to want to hear about this. Plus, we've got news on what's happening with Battlefield and Call of Duty for 2018 as well. I'm Ryan McCaffrey. To my right, Miranda Sanchez.
Hello.
See, we switched again.
We switch every week.
Every other
Fun
week.
fact.
It's fine.
It's not that fun,
Bounce
but
back and
it's
forth.
what we're doing.
I think it's fun.
We'll figure it out.
Alana Pierce, hello.
Hey, what's up?
And my comrade in arms over there, not wearing. You've gone with the fabric sleeves.
So I intentionally did not wear the
missed it now.
squeaky jacket.
Brandon Tyrell.
I thought I would do a callback, but nope, just regular old jacket today. Hi.
Right.
How are you?
Yeah, and if you're wondering why we all look like a bunch of like layered hipsters indoors, it's because it's freezing in this studio at all times.
Man, layering is good.
Yeah.
We
That's
live
what I
in,
did today. Got a t-shirt and then put a good cardigan over it.
Good t-shirt.
we live in the Bay Area. This is how it has to be. So first up, State of Decay 2.
Hey, this little game.
Yeah, we've been waiting for it, and it's finally just about here. May 22nd is the release date. And I want to actually talk about the release date with you guys, or rather, pardon me, the price. I just said the release date. The price, it's $30.
Right.
And I have to say, so we kind of co-revealed that with Microsoft. We are covering State of Decay 2 all month long as part of our IGN First this month. Today, as we record here on Wednesday, we've just posted the first ever just proper gameplay.
Just a big old
anything
chunk.
outside of a trailer.
Not only that, but of the cooperative variety.
Yeah, the 4-player co-op, which of course is totally optional. You can still, of course, play the whole thing by yourself.
Yeah.
But 4-player co-op is what people have been asking for since the day the first game came out. That is happening. But yeah, $30. Or there's an Ultimate Edition for $50 that gets you 2 future DLC packs, as well as you get early out. You can jump in and play like 4 days early. And
yeah, a copy of the State of Decay 1, a Game of the Year edition, right?
the Year 1 survival
Year 1
edition.
survival edition.
Yeah, for Xbox One.
I just remember the
actually-
days when there was just one edition.
Yeah.
right?
Which I think the Year 1 survival has the breakdown DLC, and then the other one, I can't remember the name of it, but it's got all the DLC wrapped
Life.
into it.
So even
Line.
that
Lifeline,
edition has
yeah.
its own editions.
Yeah.
Those seem like good value, though. Honestly, the $30, I'm surprised by that. But it's, pricing games is a tough thing. Pricing anything is tough because you don't want it to seem like it is less valuable or worse. And that is what my head goes to, is like, oh, this game probably isn't going to be that big. But I know that's not true based on what I've seen, so
Right.
I'm surprised by it.
Yeah, I'm also just surprised. It's like you don't want to assume the size of a game because of its price, but sometimes I think it's hard not to, because a lot of times we do see smaller games have a lower price.
I mean, that goes into marketing. Like when they pick the price, they're like, what a consumer is going to assume based on this price. Like, it is perceived value, and that's a big thing. And it's like, does that downplay this game? Does it make it seem like it's not like a big Xbox exclusive and instead it's like arcadey?
And it applies to everything. Like
absolutely.
I had Daisy the Boxer Puppy spayed last month, and I got a quote. I was all set to just believe me. Walk with me here.
I can't wait to see where
Walk
this
with me
goes.
here. I was all set to just go to our regular vet, and I got a quote. I'm like, okay. And then I talked to somebody, and they were like, oh, there's the spay and neuter clinic at the SPCA, and it was cheaper. I was like, oh, let me look into that. And it was like over $200 cheaper. And my first thought was actually, oh,
It can't be safe.
is this?
That's kind of scary.
I should probably that sounds bad.
Yeah.
actually,
It's weird.
But in fact, I looked into it and it was fine. It's just like that's what they do all day. It's like it's a specialty, and it was fine.
And they would have funding covered by charity stuff
That too.
So that's different. But
that too. But yeah, like that does matter. But I think it's interesting. I think it's a lot of it is the tradition is breaking down in the pricing department, because I think Dan Stapleton, I want to give him credit for this, our reviews editor, put it best. Like, I think a lot of Xbox fans were the people that did react a little tepidly, like, oh, I don't know, does that mean this is going to be a budget disaster, kind of a mess? Were a lot of those people, I think, are reacting to Recore,
Right.
which was the last big first-party game that was cheaper than $60, and that game, it was just it was a lower budget, just not quite. It wasn't a $60 game, and so I think that's what a lot of Xbox fans are looking at. But you look at a Game of the Year nominee last year was PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds,
right?
$30.
Yeah, it's true.
What Fortnite's free right now, and that's what everybody's playing.
Yeah, the PvP aspect of it is for sure.
So yeah, I mean, and Game Pass has Microsoft's already starting down this road of breaking down traditional pricing models. So I think State of Decay 2 here is just part of that. And Brandon, you and I have played a lot of State of Decay 2, and I think you'd agree with me from what we've played, there's no doubting certainly the depth and breadth of it at the very least.
Yeah, I think we were on the same. I mean, we had this conversation like right after we finished playing one of the days, and I think we were both on the same page where like what we saw was like a chunk of the game, and it felt like a solid, like a good quality game.
Absolutely.
That I was honestly, I mean, we were both kind of surprised when we found out the price was going to be, $30. Understanding that, the more of what we played in the beginning or what we were going to play afterwards, like would you add to that value? Like from what we played, just the chunk, it's kind of a roundabout way to get to the point here is just that from what we played, the chunk of it that they showed us up in Seattle, like it is totally, I mean, I would easily say it's a $60 game, right? Like the quality was there.
When it was announced as, hey, because when it was first announced, it was, okay, so sequel, it's gonna have 4 players, and then they said shortly thereafter, like, oh, it's gonna be Unreal Engine this time. My assumption was, okay, it's gone from a digital darling to a full-fledged first-party big game. My assumption was this was going to be a $60 game.
So maybe the thing is, in the same vein as PUBG, if this is like fully focused on being games as service, the idea is you pay $30 to buy in, they'll have other content that you can buy, but then it all like kind of weeds out. Like if there are a ton of microtransactions in there in the end, then ultimately I can understand it being $30.
Right. Like I think that's the big question, right? Is I think what could supplement that are microtransactions.
Yeah.
If you buy this game, it's $30 and you deem like, hey, I want to give the studio more money, then microtransactions can come into play.
Right.
Also just into play. Otherwise, because I know that's like a big thing a lot of studios are doing right now anyway. But at least for me looking at this, I'm just like, oh, well now I can pick up the Ultimate Edition like a lot easier.
That's true.
We did not see any microtransaction hooks.
Right.
Yeah.
We were told of with the Ultimate Edition with the 2 future DLC.
We know
packs.
there's at least 2 DLC packs coming.
Yeah.
Having said that, we didn't see any way to spend money in the game, and
not to say it's not there.
correct,
You
yeah.
just didn't see it, yeah.
And speaking, we spoke to a couple reps from Microsoft. We even got a quote from Aaron Greenberg that was saying, the strategy behind pricing this at that point is to build a community with. Sort of the Xbox community out there, understanding that, whether you're new to Xbox or maybe you just missed the first State of Decay, because it was a smaller game. It came out, I think it was $19.99 or $20.
20. Oh yeah.
No, you were going to say it came out in 1990. I was
Yeah.
like,
That's
no.
what I was just gonna say. 2015, Brandon.
confused.
No, yeah.
No,
It
not
came out at
1990.
$19.99, but it came out as a Summer of Arcade title back when
Yes.
they were
Right,
running
Summer of
that
Arcade.
awesome program.
So fun.
God, I miss it. I miss it so much. But
They're bringing back This Week in Xbox. So does that mean is Summer of Arcade finally next,
we're-
or Winter of Arcade?
Thank you. That's I already did it. Winter of Arcade.
so whether you missed it the first time,
There's a whole
or-
other hemisphere, you guys.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
whether you missed whether you missed it the first time or you're just now getting into it, I think this is a way to pick up more people who wouldn't necessarily give this game a second look.
And I think we touched on this maybe on last week's show or the week before, where we were saying that we feel like a lot of people probably still, like State of Decay 2 will be their first experience with it. Like even though the first one was a relative big hit, it's still kind of this like sleeper under the radar game, maybe partially because it was digital. I know there was the year 1 special edition that did come out in retail, but yeah, why not lure them in with $30 price point?
Yeah.
Which is
get them
interesting
hooked.
considering it also applies to the Game Pass, promotion that they're doing as well, where if you sign up for Game Pass, you get those games day one, right? Game Pass is relatively cheaper than, a $30 price point if you go in it, just for a month or two at a time.
Right.
Are we just formally moving towards a future where Game Pass is it? Like everything is like a subscription service and you get all of your exclusives via paying a monthly fee? Is
I
that
think
where we're
Microsoft
at right
would
now?
love that.
EA's got one. Microsoft now has one.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
We'll see. I don't know.
And we had
I wouldn't be turned off. I wouldn't be afraid of the price point. If you played the
No,
first one and
from what
liked
we've
it,
seen.
if you played the first one and liked it, you and I both loved the first game. I absolutely, from what I've played, love the second one as well.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it's early. We haven't seen. I mean, we played a work in progress build. Like
yeah,
4
Right.
months.
the big caveat I think from that I want to be 100% honest about is we played on high octane PCs.
Yep.
And it looked great, it ran great, which was like seeing State of Decay run great was like, wow,
Yeah.
look how great it looks.
And it supported 4K
how-
as well. So.
Yeah, we were running it at 4K. We did not see it running on any Xbox One, not an X, not an S, and not an original Xbox One. So I think it's fair to
That's not uncommon for dev builds though.
no, but
not at all.
it's fair to be for a game whose history it's a little wonky and maybe a little.
What did you call it? Classic jank, I think it was. Which I think an appropriate way, like it was endearing in a way.
Yeah, it's fair to be a little skeptical of, oh, I hope this is going to run okay
Sure.
on a stock Xbox
Yeah.
One versus the high-end PCs we're running at. But they have 2 months of polished time left to go. Like what we saw looked pretty done.
Yeah.
But again, we were also looking at it on a PC that would cover a lot of optimization
So can
issues.
you guys tell us about some of the stuff you saw? Why don't we talk about it?
Yeah.
talk a little bit.
Yes, please.
What do you want to know?
I mean, explain State of Decay 2 and the
So-
hooks and what you like about it to anyone who has never heard of State of Decay 2.
Well, if you've never heard of if you've never heard of State of Decay 2, State of Decay is a series about the zombie survival. It's essentially like the way the developers pitched it was you're in a bar with your friends and they're like, all right, zombie survival. What do you do? And like that's the premise of the game. You figure out how you would survive, and to do that, how you facilitate that in the game is you find survivors, you create a shelter, and there are a few areas around the map that you can actually convert into shelters, and then you basically take these survivors, you build your
Survivors,
shelter.
are they NPCs?
Build a community.
Yeah. Well, they're procedurally generated characters. In the first game, you had static characters.
Yeah.
Like I think everybody started the game
Maya.
with Marcus.
Yeah.
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 There's a few of them.
Yeah, so there's a few of them. And this time around, they're all procedurally generated. And what's really cool is the depth of that character generation is so much deeper this time. Like every character, I was just talking to somebody on Twitter about this morning. Every character has these.
Twitter's up there.
Yeah, Twitter's up there. It's in the cloud. Every
Great
character.
cloud.
Every character
There
has
with
these.
Crackdown 3.
Every character has these traits and backstories and cool little details that all add like tangible, functional things to the game. Like one person has asthma, so his sprint meter will never be able to go past like 60%. And there's it's,
Can relate.
That one hit really
Oh,
close.
man.
to
yeah,
home.
yeah. There's some other really cool ones too. Like this guy's a mechanic, so I'm just pulling this out right now, but he's good with melee weapons or whatever because he's used to handling wrenches. So there's all kinds of cool little stuff like that go into the game. But you take these survivors and you build your shelter, and then you go out and scavenge, man. Like you do quests, you do side quests, you find other survivors and bring them in, or don't, because
Or they might shoot at you.
you don't know who's who. Like you find this guy who's really great with a samurai sword. He's a ninja. You find a ninja out in a house somewhere. Turns out he's also like, mildly kind of an a-hole. And so he,
Classic ninjas.
Yeah, classic ninjas.
Yeah.
He makes everyone in your shelter just like turn on each other. So you have to weigh, is having a ninja with a BA katana like worth alienating everyone?
Bachelor
Yes.
of Arts with
Yeah.
katana.
Absolutely.
He got
It is totally worth it.
I mean, while you were
Katana
studying,
arts.
he was studying the blade. So,
So when you've
you have to
built
weigh all
up this
this around.
cool shelter, and like I imagine that takes a pretty long time, and you've got this shelter and you've got all the NPCs in there, what do? If your shelter's just like, yep, this is pretty much impenetrable,
I mean, you kill zombies.
you just
Oh,
go and
that's the
you
thing.
kill
You're
them?
always resource managing.
Yeah.
You'll always be under siege from time to time from either other survivors or
So it
of course,
constantly throws
zombies.
problems at you.
Yeah, you've it's like whack-a-mole where you might solve one problem, but another one's going to pop up.
And there's
that's the simulation.
There's also like the exploration part of it too, right?
Yeah.
Like even though there's zombies everywhere, you still want to like find other places and you want to find new survivors and you want to find new tools and equipment that can like help you like build up like your fortress essentially.
Yeah, well, you kind of have to because the only way to build up a shelter is to get more and more materials, right? So let's say I need a generator. I'm in a residential neighborhood. There's no generators around, but I bet that industrial complex, a mile away will have something that I can use, to fulfill this thing that I want to create, whether that be like a machine workshop or whatever.
You also want to make it look nice. I mean,
Yeah,
you want to look like a place.
flowers.
Better hope it's not nighttime.
Yeah. So here's the other point. In State of Decay, night was an ominous sort of, like, you don't want to be caught out at night. State of Decay 2, that's just so much worse because they've deliberately made it like, I don't know if you guys ever been camping and like it's nighttime and you go away from the campfire and then you literally just can't see. Like you can't even see.
Not like the
this.
city.
Yeah, I used to live out in the middle of nowhere, Texas.
In rural,
so
yeah.
it's awesome. But like sometimes when you're driving with friends, you just turn off your lights for a second. It's like super spooky. They're like, oh man, turn
Yeah,
it back on.
and you also hit that point where
Friends
like
are insane.
High school thing.
Oh boy.
Don't do that, guys. Keep your lights
really
on when you're
bad.
driving in the dark.
That's how you get hit,
feel like we have
hit
to-
by a kangaroo.
with the whole real doll conversation that's coming up and Miranda's little gem right there.
Hot tease right
I
there.
feel like we need to put a PSA on the front of this.
Don't do these things. Be safe.
The second episode in a row where I'm like, I'm not sure we're doing anybody any good here.
I'm so sorry.
I totally lost my train of thought. So it's super
the night.
microphone.
The night is
nighttime.
scary.
Nighttime.
it's
and
super
dark.
dark outside. And they've deliberately made it where I think what Jeff Strain said, who's the head of Undead Labs, is that some games when night rolls around, it's like by design kind of bluish, right? So you can still kind of
So
see
that you
what's
can,
happening.
yeah, you can see on
Yeah.
purpose. They want you to see. It's
State of Decay, it feels like there's a 15, maybe 20-foot dome around you, and you just can't see.
So it's like it just becomes
Past
like
that.
a legit horror game at nighttime.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, yeah, we're
way.
we're
I mean, the
driving.
first one was really stressful. So I mean, I
It
can
was.
imagine it being even more so with how you're describing it.
Yeah, I mean, everything has just like been ramped up, and we were playing a co-op game where I think you were in the lead car and I was in a van behind you, and there was
Oh, yeah,
one.
that was fun.
There was one point where you got like 30 feet ahead, and all I could see are these two little red
Barely,
taillights,
yeah.
barely, and I had my headlights on and everything, and then you have these like big cars and debris in the middle of the road, and you don't see them coming until like this last second. So you really have to swerve. And fortunately, my van only had like 7 horsepower, so it really didn't get up to top speed.
It's the thing
Cars
selling
have
point about vans.
cars have fuel tanks now. You have
Yeah,
to.
you have to
they'll run
fuel
out of
them up.
gas.
Oh,
and
that's
you have
cool.
to fuel them up.
Which was I had a cool anecdote where I was in a car and I wanted to get to the other side of the map, and I was running out of gas, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do because I have this big like I was going to swear, but I caught myself. I have this big rucksack in the trunk that I have to get back to the base. Like, fortunately, somebody up there was looking out, and I see a Bronto gas station. Bronto's like sort of the gas
In-game,
station in the
yeah.
world. I see a Bronto gas station over on the right, and I pull in, fill up, get back in the car, and then just drive.
That's great.
And I was like, man, this is just like real life.
I'm glad this is coming out far enough off to Sea of Thieves because it sounds like it is a really co-op heavy thing.
Yeah, it's like when I was like, hey, we should play this together.
Yeah.
Like, please
It's-
play this game with me.
Yeah, we'll explain how did we explain in the video or are we explaining it more later about how literally how co-op works?
We didn't really get into it.
So we'll cover it later. We've got a ton more
Right.
features for the rest of the month, but yeah, I mean, from what I saw, it's bigger, better, more State of Decay.
I think
and that's exactly what I want, and I'm
Yeah.
super happy about that. Like on a new engine that's less janky than CryEngine was.
You coined a phrase that I really liked, and you said it's a sequel in the truest traditional sense of it, or something like that, which is this is what you know and love with some new stuff added in, and also it's bigger and louder and better and prettier. So really, if you enjoyed like the heart and the soul of whatever State of Decay 1 was, you're gonna really enjoy
Yeah,
this.
I mean, I've said this before, but it's State of Decay 1 was sort of stealthily a role-playing game more than anything else, which most other zombie games are not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this doubles down on all that good stuff. Like there's the RPG elements of it are way deeper, and it's I very much see myself spending a lot of time with State of Decay 2.
I absolutely agree. And I kind of feel bad because I saw some comments from our 25-minute gameplay, which was admittedly like action heavy.
Yeah.
I saw some comments like, "Oh, it's like Left 4 Dead." I was like, "It's
No.
not. It's not like Left 4 Dead
No.
at all." I mean, yes, there are zombies, and you can have 4 people to fight them off with, but you literally can lose the game by like not having enough food or
Yeah, there's
medicine.
permadeath.
Pills
Yeah.
here.
Right.
All the time.
Yeah, you lose a character, it's gone forever. But like, there's a management system in there that you have to keep up on. Morale, medicine, health.
Is the combat satisfying?
Super satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were outfitted with just characters that were pretty heavily armed. That
Yeah.
it would take a long time of playing to get to that point. And my favorite toy that I had given to me on that save file was C4.
Yeah.
Because-
that's right. Yeah. I remember this.
So it was, we go into a house to clear it out, and it was going to a house, and then things would start to go bad, and I'd be like, okay, everybody just get out, and I'd just put the C4 down, run into the house, and I did the classic like action movie thing of hopped over the porch railing and hit the C4, just boom, house is cleared
It was
out.
like Michael
bomb.
Bay was taking
Beautiful.
notes on this, But to be fair, you didn't say get out. There were a lot of instances where grenades would just go off in front of you. Admittedly,
I assume there's friendly fire.
No, there is no friendly
There
fire.
is no friendly.
You know what? I'm not 100% sure if explosives and all that, but a lot
I
of
don't remember actually.
I don't-
now that
there-
think
I
about it.
don't-
I'd have to go back to the tape.
I don't think there's friendly fire from one player to another, but there's definitely like you can inflict damage on yourself by
Explosions.
throwing a Molotov
Explosive,
at your
yeah.
feet and then you're on fire. But a lot of that game comes down to like you and me, we have swords and we're like killing zombies like this. So there's no way there could be friendly fire because like I'd cut your hair off
Yeah.
and
Oh no! I know. Yeah.
Rude.
Anyway, yeah, just ton of great stuff all month on IGN. This is like the longest plug segment ever. But no, seriously, it's. I'm so thrilled that we get to basically unveil this game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been at the last 2 E3s in trailer form,
Right.
Yep.
and that's it. So we've got a lot of stuff starting with this co-op. 25 minutes of co-op gameplay today.
That's right.
Which you and Derek and CJ did such a great job on. It's all continuous on a timeline, but you cut back and forth. We recorded all 4 players simultaneously, so it goes back and forth from one perspective to another.
it was a real pain in the ass to put together.
You did a
Yeah.
great job.
It was basically scrubbing through one player and being like, all right, and then seeing what the most interesting thing was at any given time. And because it was a work in progress, there were, there's bugs and stuff that's still being polished and worked. So I tried my best to not show any of those. But
yeah, May 22nd, which hits the spring window that they had said for that game. And a couple things with this. One, Sony's will have their own. They've got Detroit shipping that same week, which really sucks for me because I was hoping to review both of those games. And now
man.
I'll have to pick
you can
one.
do it. I believe in you.
Like,
No,
no way.
No, just do both. You can do it.
Yeah, no.
It's fine.
That's not how this works.
Just don't sleep. That's what I do.
yeah, it's, how that couldn't possibly go wrong.
It's called wikis. You don't sleep.
No, you guys do the real work around here for sure. And then the other thing is, this is purely my own personal speculation. May 22nd for this, March 20th for Sea of Thieves. I don't see any scenario in which Crackdown 3 ships in the first half of the year.
You're absolutely right.
They had
Yeah.
said spring, which technically goes through June 20th.
Really?
Yes.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
Wait,
don't like
isn't
that.
that summer?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's
June is
well,
summer.
It's your winter.
Summer solstice. Solstice.
Is June?
I'm trying to make up for the hemisphere comment.
Spring officially starts in a couple weeks. It's March 21st, I believe. It's either
I-
Yeah.
20th or 21st.
I don't see Crackdown
It's
coming
3
out.
months.
Yeah, I
and-
don't
and
either.
there- we have seen big games ship in June before. It's not out of the question. Batman Arkham Knight came out during E3,
Right.
which caused Dan Stapleton to have to stay home from E3 and review it. No Man's Sky came out.
Oh,
big game
right.
came out
Yeah.
in June. That's the one I was thinking of. The Last of Us. I know this is an Xbox podcast, but huge game came out during. So it's not out of the question, but I just don't. I think the odds are fairly low that Microsoft would ship. So my personal new guesstimate is August.
I was going to say August. Or
It's
September.
really
for
like
Crackdown.
the last chance, right?
We were talking about that last
maybe
week.
early September. I don't
It
know.
has to be before the end of the year. Like, they
mean,
can't compete with October, November.
Yeah, Red Dead is October. November is all the shooters in the world, so you run out of
How
time.
likely is it the Crackdown gets canceled?
No, it's not going to.
I don't think it goes.
I think they're
yeah.
the
doing
way
it
of
to the-
scale bound. Yeah,
I think personally, after all of the bad press that Microsoft has had with specific regard to first-party stuff,
Yeah.
Fable's cancellation and Lionhead shut down, and and Scalebound's cancellation and the where are all the first party games. I think they have to take this one to the finish line no matter what.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's going to turn out great. But I don't want to turn this segment into like a negative thing. I guess the point I wanted to make that I'm, as usual, drawing way out further than it needs to be is, given these release dates now, I doubt we're going to see Crackdown 3 in the spring, which is fine. I'll be playing.
I'm kind of happy about that.
I'll be
Right,
playing
it's like
Sea
we
of
have-
Thieves. I'll be playing State of Decay 2.
There's a lot
That's
coming
fine.
out.
For sure, like we have things to play. Like we're good to go. So hopefully, I think August would be a good time for it too.
Yeah.
Just because, like, what else am I?
You
playing?
got time to play it then.
Aside from Dota, just
Exactly.
I'm ready for something new.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Just a few kind of key news items this week to talk about. I don't even know how to
Just,
start.
just do
do
it.
it.
Okay.
Just put it out
Roll
there.
right.
Sometimes you just gotta just go right in.
Power
Yep.
through.
Yep.
Just thrust on ahead.
No,
Plop it right there.
no.
What is that?
No, it's just,
You'll find out.
I mean, I think
don't
it
know
would
what
make
he's
a very.
doing.
I think it would make a plop sound.
I agree.
Oh, you're right
will.
about that.
Which is
Yeah.
why I said it.
Okay,
part is
What are you
I wonder, does
insinuating?
it bounce?
Let
But
me-
he went from thrust. You said plop. And it's like, what?
Well, yeah, I think I was more on.
more of an
I think making it
active versus a passive kind
less
of situation,
lewd
I
is
guess.
probably good.
I think I was more on the nose than thrust.
Anyway, the story.
Let me caveat this by saying consider this inside spoiler territory. So
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
have not, for some reason, haven't finished, it's a 3-hour game. Buy it, play it right now. Just stop.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Please,
and please do.
It's the best game of 2016.
It's on PC
FU
and on
Overwatch.
PlayStation now as well.
Yeah,
Whoa,
yeah, that's right.
dang.
Should have won. That's because that's what did win our game of the year.
Dishonored 2. But anyway, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Fine.
Anyway, spoilers for Inside. Fast forward for a little while if you want to avoid those. Okay, so Inside, the game came out almost 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Good lord.
It's actually talking about June releases.
Yeah.
June 2016.
There you go.
Or, yeah, I think it was the very end of June, if memory serves. Anyway,
Wow. Wait. So Last of Us and Inside came out in June. Sounds like game of
not
the year.
the same year.
No, I know, but game of the year month maybe.
Maybe.
It's a bit of a stretch, but
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just trying to make connections here, Alana.
So, despite the fact that the game came out almost 2 years ago, there is a limited edition collector's edition of Inside that will be out in Q1 2019. So that would be a year from now.
it's already weird.
And
Ooh.
that's just the start of the weirdness with this. I guess it's all fitting in with the fact that Inside's a very weird game. So
Yeah.
we're just sticking with the
beautiful
weird
game.
theme.
Just even watching this gameplay that's up on screen, I'm like, man.
I always
You just
forget
want to
how
play it right
Yeah,
now,
It's
don't
such
you?
a good
I was
game.
just
right.
thinking-
I forget how incredible the animation is. Like that's the one thing that stuck with me. I'm just like, wow, I cannot
God,
believe
this,
the
how
this
dogs.
part
fluid it
really
is.
screwed
forgot
me
the
up.
dogs.
Yeah, I had to redo that a couple times.
Yeah.
So, okay. So there is a collector's
No, not the water.
The scary water lady.
I don't like the water.
limited collector's edition out in Q1 of 2019. And this is not coming out for Xbox, but this game debuted as an Xbox timed exclusive. The story is too weird to not do on the show,
Right.
Because it's going to be of interest to anyone who cares about Xbox or just video games in general. So this limited collector's edition that's out in Q1 2019, it comes with a mystery something, and they literally won't say what it is.
It's I think coined as other stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So this costs $375 plus an exorbitant amount of money for shipping because apparently it's rather heavy. Now, here's where the fun
Maybe it
part.
won't plop.
Yeah. Maybe it'll thud.
Here's where the fun part comes in.
No.
This is being done by I Am 8-Bit, who is a wonderful. They're sort of smaller outfit that has done really cool, wonderful limited special editions.
I want to mention they've done multiple of them late too. The No Man's
Yeah.
Sky one they did it was late. Oxenfree one they did it was late.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a deal that they get after the game is out
Right.
very often.
Which is probably I want to talk about later the best way to do a collector's edition.
Yeah.
But
After
what
you know
get.
you love the game.
yeah, it's like, hey, I
Yeah.
loved Undertale. Now let me give you more money to buy Undertale
Rather
again.
than getting a skin pack for your guns and
Right.
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now, I Am 8-Bit is partnering obviously with Playdead, the developer of Inside, but they're also partnering with someone else.
Yeah.
It's a company.
We're really teasing this out, aren't we?
Yeah, this has been a while.
It's
Quite the buildup.
It's a company called Real Doll, and if you know who they are, congratulations.
Really?
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And
I feel like that's the wrong.
if you don't know who Real Doll is, they make sex dolls.
Yeah.
They make dolls you put your junk in or rub up against, or I don't know what people
Gyrate,
do.
maybe.
What?
I don't know how women do that.
Well,
How does it work?
Well, let's not get into that. Let's roll right through it.
That's
Yeah,
that's a
I mean,
conversation you have
I
with
like
someone.
to think that most women are probably civilized enough that they're not seeking out.
I would not assume that.
Sure about that.
Anyway,
I would not
'Cause
assume
men
anything
are
there.
gross, but whatever.
I think we're all a little gross.
Maybe we're yeah.
I'm about to say, well, let's not talk about this part. Let's just keep going.
Move on.
So what does Real Doll do?
Okay.
Yeah, they make sex dolls.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they make sex dolls that are supposed to be like.
They are
Realistic.
fleshy.
So,
Thank you, Miranda.
There you go.
being,
Thank you for using that word.
That was the word I was
make
looking for.
things that feel like flesh.
Yeah, you get
Pause. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. You get
sit in silence.
inside this mysterious collector's edition. You get a copy of Inside on disc for PlayStation 4. And by the way, so I don't have confirmation on this, but I've been told, like a source has told us that the reason these things never come to Xbox, and I would think is the case here, is because I am 8-bit and those kinds of companies do. It is a limited run, and the word is that Microsoft has a minimum supply order, like a minimum order that you have to, if you want to sell your game on Xbox in a physical way.
You got to buy in bulk. Yeah.
Interesting.
Apparently that's a thing. So Mike Ibarra, Aaron Greenberg, Phil Spencer, anybody can feel free to DM me to correct me if I'm wrong on that. But anyway, so this isn't coming to Xbox. So you get a PS4 disc of Inside, as well as Steam copies, so PC codes for Inside and Limbo.
It's pretty neat that they're bundling Limbo
I guess
in
you
that.
give those to give one of them to friends, because if you have 2 copies of Inside with
No,
this,
you have it everywhere. If you're buying this, you love Inside. You're going to play on every system you have.
I guess so.
Here,
Yeah,
buddy,
it's-
take the free code I got by ordering my sex blob.
Exactly. So there's there's a box.
Okay.
There's a gift wrapped
through it.
cube, and on the gift wrapping is the blob from the end of the game, like in just it as like repeated
parts?
decoration. Yeah. This will be available for a limited time, and there will be a limited quantity. Pre-orders start probably now as you hear this. Pre-orders
Year in advance.
begin March 8th at 7 a.m. Pacific on im8bit.com, and the pre-orders will close 3 months later, not 24 hours later, Friday, June 8th at 11:59 Pacific. After that date, orders for Inside Collector's Edition will no longer be available.
Right, are you getting this?
That's the problem is I want it. But I only want the blob that I'm assuming exists that we don't have confirmation.
So that's the thing.
I got permission from Pear to order one.
Oh, thank God.
So
Yay.
there's that.
I'm so ready for a year.
I
from
want to
now
know
when
if
that
it
thing
plops.
shows up.
So yeah.
It's probably not going to plop.
A plop or a thud? Yeah. Oh, it's wonderful.
I prefer
What's
a
in the
plop.
box?
There you go.
It's going to be that fleshy blob, I
Yeah.
imagine.
So
Yeah, there's no way it's not.
It just looks and feels like flesh. I hope they have a stand for it. So if you like try and put it in a display case, it's not just like,
yeah.
No, I hope it does that. That's what
well,
I
it
need
would
to-
be accurate. That thing is gross.
So
Even
when
in
I
the
heard
game.
about this, I was 100% sure that it had to be functional in some sort.
You mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask that question.
Yeah.
Is it like remote
fine.
control?
I was 100. I'm like, why? Okay, so you have like
Never mind.
McFarlane toys. You've got all these other cool, awesome.
Functional, he said.
Oh God, yeah. Wait, what?
I just
Yeah,
wanted
that's
to
why my
clarify
question was going
for
to
the
be,
record.
what did you mean so you could have
Is-
sex with it?
is that an
Oh,
actual-
so my first place went to is like, oh, you can make it roll around.
Yeah,
no,
it's got
I
a
didn't
remote
go in that
control in it and little
Yeah.
wheels, and you just no.
that would
And
be
it
good. And it
moans
makes
and
that
groans.
noise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, why would you partner with Real Doll when you could partner with McFarlane or I mean any?
McFarlane don't make fleshy.
Well, sure, but they make horrifying stuff, right?
I just
but
realized you really don't want that to roll around too. Like, it gets so dirty.
yeah,
Yeah.
And gross.
That's
Yeah.
So I
Absolutely.
thought like there must be something to
everywhere.
Real Doll, like partnering with Real Doll outside the fact that they are known for making flesh-like prosthetic stuff. The more I think about it, I think they must have some sort of like proprietary like flesh-like substance, right? Like you see this in ballistic gel, right? If any of you have watched Mythbusters, they simulate like, actual flesh and using, ballistic gel and then put a skin on it and all that. But Real Doll must have something, right?
It would just be that they're very good at making.
Yeah, that's what I
flesh,
think it is.
yeah.
So I think
Because like McFarlane, I imagine the thing,
the
blob, whatever it is squishy.
it has a name.
It's just, I imagine you can touch it. No, I think they just call it blob.
I think
right?
it's-
no,
Yeah.
it doesn't even have a name.
I don't think so.
No, it doesn't.
I imagine you can.
Its name is Robert Paulson.
It's Robert Paulson.
It's like third time I've heard that Fight Club reference.
Funnily enough, Marty and I have had a bunch of like totally tangent but arguments about that quote, and then I think it's like one of the most famous quotes from that movie. And he's like, I didn't even know that was in that movie.
Meatloaf, man.
It's like incredibly popular. It's crazy. Anyway, I imagine it is squishy, and that's why
Yeah.
someone like McFarlane couldn't make it, because they ultimately make either like plastic or polystone. It's like a totally different
Yeah.
material. I don't know that they'd have like a license on it or anything, but it's like they can make a realistic feeling flesh.
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, anyone can make something squishy, right? Like it's
But it has to have
Just
the,
good at it.
you mix the gel and throw it.
I know, I've stopped myself from doing things so many times.
You mix the gel and throw it in the mold. But yeah, I there's got to be something about what Real Doll does that it's got to feel like actual
Every
skin.
time you're like, it's got to be something that Real Doll does. I'm like, yeah, it just has a hole in it.
Has to have the right squish.
We have, oh God. Right squish.
Anyway,
Yes, they want to go realistic.
We have had many conversations in the office about what this thing could be. And
right.
I totally think it's just going to be the.
Hi, is this Ken Johnson from Real Doll? Hi, Ken. This is Jens Jensen from Playdead.
Is this how this went?
What if they were
Oh my God,
friends
are we going to do a
beforehand?
skit?
Is there
this is our first unlocked skit.
Is there so you guys make dolls that feel fleshy that you can that feel like skin,
Wait,
right?
isn't he from Denmark? Where's the accent?
I don't know. Just
All right.
Just let him have this.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's correct, though. Yeah.
What if we partner with you on something that you didn't stick your penis in?
What?
Go on.
What?
I'm listening.
How dare you?
We've been
sir.
trying to legitimize for years.
We have a reputation.
Okay, this being $375 is really off-putting to me. I tried to stop buying collectibles and collector's editions, and I haven't in quite a while. I want this one.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
Oh man, no.
Like it's really.
He's back.
When we don't know what it looks like, it's hard for me to convince myself to get a pre-order of it when I don't even know what it is. Like if it's literally a sex toy, I'm gonna be like, oh damn.
That's the thing. Like,
what am I doing with
I
this
really
now?
hope it's not a sex.
I bet there's
No
not a
one-
great
I don't
resale
think
market
it
for
is.
those.
who is gonna buy this at $375 when they
Collectors
ship it,
do.
but they won't tell you what
Our
it is?
office?
Yeah.
If
I mean,
You are
besides
going
us.
to. You are
2
literally
years
going
ago,
to
I
buy
would
one.
have.
But
So
with company money, I would never spend my own
Really?
money on
Papa
this.
Ziff.
Why not?
I totally would. Yeah.
You give it 10 10. Best of 2016.
Yeah, for the game.
Again, I totally
game.
would.
You get a copy of
I
the
have the game already.
That market is me. It's people who collect stuff. Like I bought a $600 replica snub pistol that's still sitting on a bench in Australia that I like just don't touch. You know, it's like the people who collect stuff.
Like
you
a
get
park
really
bench?
addicted. No, bench. It means a different thing there.
I bought a
thought about
$150
that, but-
Pikachu once.
There you go. It's like if you collect stuff, you want to collect all the stuff
Yeah.
from games you like. I totally want this.
Yeah. You gonna do it?
So if
Phrasing?
Crazy.
guys,
Sure.
let's open this up to the community. Like, if you guys are buying this, please tweet at all of us and let us
Yeah,
know that
I
if you're
am-
seriously going to get this. Because
I'm so curious to know the thought process.
yeah, I just want
behind
to know. Just say if yes or no. Like, I just want to know if people are getting this from at least from our community too.
I don't get it.
I can totally
definitely
see like
want
if I
it.
were. This is really unique, and like I think also it being a limited run.
That's
really
the thing is
interesting,
the mentality that I had when I was super addicted to collecting to the extent that it was dangerous was this is a limited edition thing from a thing that I love. I want to have this in 10 years on my shelf when everyone's like, oh, inside. And it's like, oh, I still have that collector's
Yeah.
edition that no one else has.
They're
Like,
gonna
it's
have
like
to-
you just get addicted to that,
Yeah.
to the fake value of it.
Yeah, it's that exclusivity, right?
Yeah.
Boy, they're gonna have to change their name to Unreal Doll if you've seen the blob at the end of the game,
Nice.
right?
God, that was so bad. Yeah.
Sometimes I wish the show were rated R, but it's not.
This conversation
We
would have
gotta
been
play it
very
safe.
Would
different.
have been extremely
Unlocked after dark.
different. Yeah.
It's weird because it is called unlocked, and yet we're in a cage of.
Quite locked.
Yeah, we're quite locked.
They won't let us out of the studio.
Yeah, so I think we can all agree it's going to be the blob. It's $375 because I imagine whatever cool prosthetic fleshy stuff that they can recreate is
Probably pretty
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah.
Right, and if
And it's
it's
got to have all the limbs hanging out of it. Like,
Yeah, it's going to have the arms and the legs and the head.
realistic,
cries.
Maybe if you squish it, like blood comes out.
So that's what I'm wondering too.
and it makes the noises.
Oh, I don't think blood, but that's what I'm wondering. Is it
hope it
gonna
makes
be?
noises.
Is it gonna be like one of those things where you squish and it?
The noises was so freaky.
Oh, like a stress ball.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
squish it, like other parts kind of balloon.
You know those like those infinite
Yeah.
donuts that are just like a plastic sleeve with water in them,
yeah.
and then you can like.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
That's what
wondering,
they're called.
I'm wondering if it's. I don't know. It's just like that's the. It's
a good name
It's a
for
good
them.
description. Yeah.
Yeah.
InfiniteDonut.com.
I do like
So I had one like this'll never happen theory for what could be in the box because in keeping with the theme of nothing, you can't possibly not be surprised by Inside.
Right.
A thematically appropriate thing for this that'll never happen, but I'm just going to say this anyway, would be, remember, I think it was last year when they released a piece of concept art for their next game, and we sort of everyone dubbed it Outside, because it had that same sort of artistic vibe to it, but it was set outside, and there was like, I think like some sort of alien thing
This is Playdead.
in it.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't remember this.
It's just a piece
Anyway,
of concept art.
what if, it's a super limited run? What if you pay this and it's the mystery box and you open it and it's a copy
Oh,
of
crap.
their next game?
That would be awesome.
But there are only like these, I don't know, 50 copies or however many of these things they're going to sell.
That would be very cool, but also no.
It'll never happen. The business of video games means you need to actually sell copies to stay in business and make money. But I
mean,
thought that could be like, that would be the ultimate surprise where you're like, oh my God.
if that was the
Well, you
case,
even got the concept art for the next game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, if that was the case, partnering with Real Doll is genius. Because it's just like enough of a red herring where you're like, it's gonna. I mean, look at
It's
us.
gonna be a weird blob.
We're talking about a sex blob right now,
So-
and if it's the actual game, that's amazing.
I really hope the collector's edition also comes with that wrapping paper and like that package. Like if I'm getting that blob, it better be wrapped exactly
Really
like that.
carefully unwrap it.
Yes,
and
save the
frame
wrapping
it.
paper. The only time you do it.
Yeah.
I have a very strict policy of ripping every wrapping paper gift you get. It's like you gotta rip it up.
Yeah. Well, now you got to buy, but then you have to buy two though, right? One to not open and one to open and
Just
display.
open it really
true.
carefully.
Then you're out like $1,000 after all things are said and
I
done.
mean, I want it.
I bet someone could custom make you that wrapping paper though, and it would be
Probably.
much
That's
cheaper
true.
than
Gotta have a good glossy
$375.
finish though. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Thank you.
semi-gloss.
Thank you in advance.
So yeah, I bet you never thought we would be talking about sex blobs on Unlocked. Welcome to the
never
show.
know.
If this
There's
is
someone out there who's like,
Yeah.
I totally want it. So
if this was your first episode ever tuning into us, hi.
Hello.
also buy. We understand.
It's been fun.
Stick around. It's gonna get weird.
All right, next up, let's rein it back in a little bit. To an extent, Far Cry, though, is a game where things also get a little crazy, albeit in its own Far Cry-y way.
Excellent segue.
Far Cry 5, like some Far Crys before it, has a map editor that's going to ship with it. They're actually calling it Far Cry Arcade.
So I don't really like that name. It does not convey that you're building things essentially.
I think the idea is that, which we can get into, is that it's super, super silly.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
they want you to build really silly stuff.
Yeah.
But every time Far Cry Arcade, I just want to call it Farcade.
So
Right.
I think that was originally on the table,
Mm.
and then they changed their mind at some point during development.
It makes me sad.
Well,
Farcade.
okay.
Are we seeing footage of it right now?
I think so.
This might just be regular Far Cry
Okay.
footage if you're watching on video, because there's just a bunch of weapons on there. Who knows?
We'll
Yeah.
see.
So the idea behind this is that you can take assets from, is it multiple Ubisoft properties?
Yeah, it's the Ubiverse.
Far
Okay.
Cry 4, Far Cry Primal, including the Yetis.
See, that's important.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, so you got some pirate stuff in there. And
Watch Dogs?
Assassin's Creed Unity and Watch Dogs.
Is it Watch Dogs 1 and 2? Do we know?
Let me double check while you guys
Not that many assets in
while you
Watch
guys are
Dogs
talking
1.
about it.
Chicago was a big
There's
place.
a billboard. There are some
Looks
cell
like
phones
Watch
hidden.
Dogs
Some
1.
cell phones.
You've got the Dead Mouse.
Yes, I actually liked that
Impersonator?
part.
Yeah.
I liked that. That was a good mission in that game where you go to the club. That was fun. I think this will be a lot of fun. This is like a, can't think of an Xbox exclusive title to compare it to.
Forge.
A Little Big Planet
Project
style
Spark.
thing. Project Spark works.
Well, I think
people
Miranda
will probably
just-
make really cool stuff.
Halo
Everybody else
Forge.
missed it.
Oh.
It's Forge.
But it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
if
Sure.
you could pull in Gears of War stuff.
Right. It's like that. Yeah. Expanded because like you're still getting all those assets to play with and like make creative modes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
way more wild.
Yeah.
So
Have you ever wanted to be Marcus Phoenix riding in a warthog with Ori?
Yes.
Yeah.
that sounds
Now I
great.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. In his, yeah,
I
on
don't
a
think that's the
seafood
sound
boat.
Ori makes, but
Does Ori make a sound?
I think it.
I mean, if there's no one
wait,
around.
Is Ori's she? or is he? I don't remember. I played the
genderless.
I haven't played Ori since it came out.
Yeah,
I thought. Anyway, whatever.
Let us know.
There are little sounds that Ori makes.
Anyway, let's get
I think
that
it'd be very
straight in the
cute.
game.
Yeah, I think
Very cute sounds.
this sounds like a lot of fun. That's basically my thought on this.
Yeah.
The game's out pretty soon.
Yeah, it is out. It's
This month.
27th?
End of the month.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, where are we? We're at, the 7th already.
20 days away.
20 days.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Exciting stuff.
This sounds goofy and like a lot of fun. Like it sounds like a cool sort of parallel to like a mod community on a PC game or whatever. You just go in there and make whatever you want. This isn't the first game to do this, is it? There was something else.
No, many games have done this.
No. There was something else. Somebody made.
Every
So
PC
many
game
games
ever.
have done this.
Yeah.
Was
Like
it?
you
Was
Have you
it?
heard of Armor?
Was it Trials HD where they had
There was one of the Trials
such
games you could
such
pull.
a robust map editor? Someone made a first-person shooter in it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember this?
It might have been Trials.
I think
now
it
that you
was.
say that.
Sad that Project Spark didn't take off more than it did.
I played around with it a little bit.
Yeah,
too.
it also
I liked it.
just dabbled. I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of a hard thing. It's like there's a lot to learn there, and like unless you have a lot of time to invest in it, if you want to invest that time to like hopefully share things.
Well, the thing with this is that I don't want to make anything in it. I want to play other people's
Yeah,
weird
exactly.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's I think what I did a lot of times in Halo 2.
Yeah.
Just custom games.
Yeah.
If someone can load up,
That's what like Griffball came out of, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a ton of stuff that just came out of Forge.
Out of Forge,
that is-
yeah.
That now is an actual supported mode. Which
the,
is
zo-
cool.
the zombie game as well.
Yeah.
If someone can just
Infection, yeah.
infection. Thank you. If someone can just make me a map where it's 5 assassins with wrist blades versus 800 bears from Far Cry, like I am so on
Those
board
bears are tough, dude.
for that kind of stuff. I know.
Proud of those.
Bears versus Yetis. Welcome to
Let's tune in.
Far Cry Arcade.
That would be good. Like,
sounds
I-
cool.
I like that goofy stuff.
Yeah.
All right. And then the other big story this week involves both Battlefield, following Far Cry.
Battle Cry isn't a thing anymore.
I'm hungry. I need lunch.
No, it's 1:15.
Yeah, me too.
Battlefield and Call of Duty. Their 2018 versions. We know for a fact that we are getting a Battlefield game this year, and we definitely also know for a fact we're getting a Call of Duty game this year.
Surprise.
Shocking.
Thank you. James
So,
Harden.
but what is the Call of Duty game and what is the Battlefield game? We know that it's Treyarch's turn
Yeah.
with regard to Call of Duty on the 3-studio rotation. They have made their name really with Black Ops sub-series, the sub-franchise. I had been in my gut told me that, 3, that's kind of it. They'll move on and do something else. They'll start a new Call of Duty.
Right, because kind of aside from the multiplayer, like we weren't really big fans of Black Ops 3. Like I actually skipped it. Like I just played a little bit of the multiplayer, then said, "All right."
It had the
I'm done.
most half-assed of half-assed campaign
Really?
that any Call of Duty has pretty much ever had. You could just pick any level and play it. There was no real narrative arc tying it together. Which
Oh,
is
it was like a choose. It was
As like a- as
it
a
was the
single
choose
player-
your own adventure one, right?
yeah, it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
It was Choose Your Own Adventure?
It was like maybe I'm misremembering. I'm sure someone will let us know if we are.
Probably.
There are like missions you can choose, and you can choose the order in which you do them.
Oh.
Some were just like vignettes,
Okay.
Okay,
but
yeah.
not done well.
And they,
Sounds like.
Gotcha.
I'm thinking it might have been.
Which like
Yeah,
Battlefield
and
1 did
Infinite
really
Warfare.
well.
And
Yeah, they
Black Ops 2 did have a proper campaign. I didn't think it was very good. But then Black Ops 1, I think it is the best Call of Duty campaign, followed closely by Modern Warfare 1 / Call of Duty 4.
I would say Modern Warfare 1.
But yeah, I think Black Ops 1 with the whole, it's the numbers, Mason, and the ending's great.
Yeah.
In that campaign,
I think the
the
story-
missions were great. You fly an SR-71 Blackbird.
Oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah, the Black Ops 1
this game?
campaign's great.
But
So,
what about Ghosts?
All right, what are you doing?
okay.
Alana, why?
keep talking
Everyone's
now.
favorite. Ghosts.
You got
So
you got
anyway,
a dog.
it appears the rumors are now indicating
O'Reilly.
that Treyarch's game will in fact be going back to the Black Ops well. There was a GameStop leak this week from so Charlie Intel. They're a Call of Duty fan site. They stay on top of all things Call of Duty. Reports that a tipster sent it images from GameStop's internal database of listings for Call of Duty 4 Black Ops 4 merchandise. Rumors that Treyarch's Black Ops 4 will be released this year were sparked last month, with multiple sources reporting that the sci-fi elements that have been prevalent in the last few games will be dialed back in favor of a more grounded feeling, which is actually how
boots on
Black
the
Ops
ground.
1 was.
Black Ops 1. Yeah, it jumped back and forth in time, but it was I want to say the 50s. You were in World War II for a
Vietnam,
segment. Then
a
you were in
little bit.
Vietnam,
Yep.
and then you were in present day.
Yep.
And you were sort of following the trail of this guy or family and tangentially the characters that he
Got
worked
a
with.
whole Fight Club thing going on at the end, which is really good.
Yeah.
There's a bit with, I guess it's been long enough. The ending part where it's like, hey, it turns out you were programmed to assassinate JFK. It was like, oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so looking like Black Ops 4.
So there's also been a weird logo for Black Ops 4 spotted on a baseball
Yeah,
cap.
let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Oh, on James Harden.
James Harden
Yes.
from the Rockets.
was walking into the arena wearing something that looks an awful lot
Do you have
like
a picture of it right there?
Yeah.
Can I see it? Yeah.
Black
Looks
Ops
very goofy.
1111.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem is that it's not IV, it's 1111.
Like
That's
we're,
not 4.
1111. Yes.
Well, I mean,
like
okay,
we're
so
in a
Some
jail cell
scratches on a
tallying
wall.
the
Yeah,
days.
exactly. It's a tally. It's not Roman numerals, guys. That's what we're going for here.
we just never knew because they've never made it to 4 before.
That's why they wanted to play Black Ops 4. They needed to make sure everyone knew this is a tally.
this whole time. Oh, that's great.
Can I make a hat that's just Call of Duty and then it's a tally for every single Call of Duty that's
man.
ever
There's
existed?
not enough
It
space
just
on
goes
that.
around the whole hat.
if it's one of those Pharrell hats that's just like
Yeah.
3 feet tall.
It's also worth noting that Black Ops 3 just got an update with new content.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
been
That's
2
great.
years.
I
Yeah,
mean-
they got a new multiplayer mode called Infected and a free map.
Nice.
So
Which I heard was an old map, but they added like new snow,
Yes.
like environmental stuff
that's
to
a-
it.
Love snow.
Redwood Snow. So
Redwood
it's really
Snow.
interesting that they're keeping that updated. So maybe that was just like a hey,
Yeah, all signs
be.
pointing.
Yeah.
hello.
So if
maybe.
if Black Ops 4 is a real thing, as there's some indications that it is, I hope that this sort of more boots on the ground thing is going to mean it's sort of closer to Black Ops 1
Yeah.
in tone and substance than
Even
than
gameplay.
2 and
I
certainly
think a lot of
3.
people probably want that.
Yeah.
Even gameplay, man. I know people will say I'm wrong. I think Black Ops 1 had the best multiplayer of the series. It was.
We're wrong.
It was.
Did it introduce zombies?
No.
that
Black
was,
Ops wasn't the first one?
That
No.
Zombies was Treyarch, but it was before
World
that.
at
It was
War.
World
Was
at
it?
War.
Oh, it was
World
World
at
at
War.
War. Wow.
So
That's
they,
the only reason to play World at War.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
I really
oh, wow.
like the multiplayer in World at War.
That was the one where, if I
Yeah.
recall, that was a 24 player. Where there was a mode that was 24 players.
Oh, War.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
it was War.
Yeah.
That was the first time. I think the first time they introduced it.
Zombies was like the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
World at War for.
Yeah, because
At least
remember
for me.
for a while, it would go like the sort of unique multiplayer modes, such as Zombies, would only be done with that
With
developer.
Treyarch,
So
yeah.
the Treyarch, but it got so popular that now they have
Had
to
to
have it.
include
It's
it.
in every
It's
Call
like
of Duty.
it's a mandate. There's a third tier of a Call of Duty game.
Right, it's-
Single player, multiplayer, and then funsies.
The zombies thing. Yeah. And it's kind of nice because every studio has their own touch on zombies too and like how it functions. Like there's of course similarities, but that's a whole
Some of them are more serious. Some
Yeah.
of them are more.
Was it Infinity
let's go to
Wars
space.
like an Aliens one?
Yeah.
Space
and
Or
then
it
we
was
had
like
Nazi
sci-fi
zombies
Spaceland.
this past year with Call of Duty World War II.
Right.
Betty.
Like they went back to the roots,
Right.
I guess.
So it's
more
two
horror?
buzzwords. Back to their roots
Yeah.
and boots on the ground.
I said back to the roots, and I was like, oh,
Back
that
to
sounded
their
like
roots
boots
on the
PR
ground.
got me.
ground.
So do you guys think if they do a
grow up
Black
games
Ops 4 it'll have Nuketown again? Nuketown whatever.
Yes.
It should.
Why not?
Subhead.
I really-
they better. I mean it's a standard now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they did
demanded.
Nuketown 2049 or whatever.
Yeah, and then
it was.
every
Wait.
Nuketown in every Black Ops has had a different sub name. So it's just like Nuketown and Nuketown 20 something, and then
Yeah.
the other Nuketown. That's just what I'm gonna call
The
them.
other
The other
Nuketown.
one.
Nuketown or Nuketown calling.
Nuketown.
Yeah, I forget. I
Nuketown
forgot to write down-
111.
Write down
I mean,
the name.
Halo has had Blood Gulch in most Halos.
Yeah.
As it should.
Blood Gulch.
Yeah.
Right?
Coagulation. It is the best map ever made, and
Best big team.
I love it so much.
I kind of like it when I know some people complain about it being a lacking feature. It's like, hey, why did you repurpose this map and just put it back in? We want new maps. It's like, yes, but also bring back
familiarity's
the
nice.
great maps that like
an
everyone
homage.
wants to
Yeah.
play.
I love
Yeah. Yep.
Blood.
So on the
Halo.
Battlefield side, rumors here, we've got sources from GamesBeat, who's a reputable outlet.
Yeah, love those guys.
Yeah.
Jason, Jeff.
They have
making
sources
up
telling them that this year's Battlefield game will be. I actually don't know. I presume is it Battlefield V or 5?
So what I've heard is that it is
actually-
Battlefield
Yes.
V for victory,
So like, which we had V Day and VJ
VE
Day and VE Day in the 1940s.
Yeah, unclear right now. I've been saying V. That's what a lot of people are saying, but
Are we
someone
seeing,
also yelled at me for it, so I don't know.
Are we seeing video games move away from Roman numerals finally? Is that what's happening?
I mean, Ubisoft did it a while ago.
By video games, I mean the two biggest shooters.
Yeah, I mean, you have a
can
fair
talk
point
about.
there. I was gonna say, like, I don't think they speak for everyone. Ryan had
No, they absolutely don't.
an amazing tweet. Okay,
find it. Hold on.
He listed every single battlefield. And
The
it was
mainline ones.
The mainline ones.
People were yelling, "What about this one?" Like no one cares. That's an offshoot game.
It was
Hardline.
It was 1942, Battlefield 2, Battlefield 2042, Battlefield 3. What was
Hardline
can do it.
4.
Battlefield 4.
Would you not include Bad Company?
Then
the offshoot game, not a mainline
so
game.
How dare you.
Hardline's an
I'm not
offshoot.
saying it's not good.
How
So
dare
Battlefield
you
3,
disrespect Bad
Battlefield
Company?
4, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5.
But you also have to think about the stuff EA does. There are 2 most wanted games. There are 2 Battlefronts and 2 Battlefront 2s.
Guys, it's probably still more clear than Kingdom Hearts. So
Yeah,
I'll
you're
take
right.
it.
You're right.
19
Suddenly John Dornbush
1.8
kicks the
screen
door
drop
in.
distance.
How
Sorry.
dare you?
Mainline, Battlefield 1942.
Good game.
2, 2142,
Yeah.
341V.
Sounds like Morse code.
Oh, wow. EA's naming conventions are weird. But I
So-
mean, Assassin's Creed, just like, when did they give up on numbers at 4?
sometimes
They
I
were just
think
like-
that's better though. It's like you don't necessarily need to number your games when you do a series like this when they're not tied, right?
I mean, even GTA did it, It's 3 San Andreas, Vice City, and then I think Stories, and then 4,
Right.
and then Ballad of Gay Tony was kind of a thing. Like
Well,
they
it was
all
an
just,
expansion pack.
yeah, but I think you could figure it out. I don't remember.
Lost
But
in
it
the
jumped
Damned.
around a bunch. Yeah, Lost in the Damned.
I'm all for getting away from numbers if it makes sense, right? Like Assassin's Creed Origins makes sense. It's chronologically the first game in that series. I don't think it needs to be Assassin's Creed. I don't even know how many there are now. 6, 7, 9, 12.
many.
I don't think it necessarily needs to be numbered if the naming convention makes sense. I understand why they do it because, brand recognition, and this is the next better, newer version of that thing that I liked last year.
There are 8 Assassin's Creed games.
And by the way, to Alana's point
have
just
10
now,
fingers.
according to
4 is the
GameSpeed's
6th.
according to GameSpeed sources, the game was internally known previously as Battlefield 2.
That exists.
Which has
No.
already existed following in their naming convention of the World War I set Battlefield 1. And this is purportedly set in World War II.
Right.
So because we have had World War II games and it's just obviously territory that's been explored so much, I really do hope they kind of go back to the Battlefield 1 vignette style storytelling.
Yeah.
I really like
because
that.
I think there are just so many smaller stories you can tell within World War II that don't get a lot of attention, and this is like a perfect place to explore that, right?
Yeah. I like that. Like it's just that's exactly what Marty would have said. Marty's not on the show, but we still have someone
man.
who's championing
Wait, excuse
all
me.
games need to be vignettes.
Ah, dang. There you go.
Nailed it. Yeah, I agree. I really preferred it that way, especially because I didn't like the flying ones as much, but you can just not do them. And I loved the tank one. I thought that was really cool, and it was you could kind of just pick and choose which missions you wanted to do. Whereas most shooter campaigns have you do all of it, and it's I don't necessarily like all these styles of gameplay. It was fun.
I mean, they've been taking risks with their storytelling. Battlefield Hardline was ostensibly a television show.
Yeah, it was a cop drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
buddy
Brian Albert reviewed it for us, and he said
that
he's a great guy. He said he really liked it, and he liked that story. I didn't play it personally; I only played the multiplayer, but I
found it
am so
incredibly cheesy.
I am so on board with a storytelling structure that isn't just, hey, this is a multiplayer map, but we've loaded it with bots, so have fun.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Cool.
Yeah, we agree. Yeah.
We'll see what happens with both Call of Duty and Battlefield. Call of Duty tends to get revealed in April, usually via commercial during the NBA playoffs.
Very often leaked early though.
That too.
And then they have the COD XP event in November, September.
September, I think.
It's September, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
thank you. It's so look forward to that coming up, and then we'll see what happens on the Battlefield side as well. But the two big head-to-head first-person shooters, they're squaring off again this year, and looks like last year it was Star Wars, space, sci-fi,
Yeah.
and World War II. This year, World War II and maybe
Maybe
modern-ish warfare of some kind.
and maybe Halo.
Yeah,
Maybe?
I mean,
I'm still in the no camp.
I'm in
You're
the yes camp, so we'll see.
I think we get something at E3.
I would.
I think we see something. I don't think the game's out.
I'm so nervous.
I would be.
I really want it to be good.
I
love Halo so much. I'm just like, please, from my heart. Like, I loved multiplayer 5, and I liked a lot of 5, I think, more than most people did.
Sure.
But I'm just like, please.
Yeah.
I would
Please
be,
do right by Blue Team. Please.
There's a big hole to dig out of in that department. Yeah.
What if they just retcon it? It was all a dream.
Well,
Love
I've
is
said
real.
before, I don't know how they draw their way out of the narrative corner they've painted themselves into with how much of a just disaster that the plot and story was in Halo 5. I don't know how
Look,
you
they can do it.
get
I
out.
mean,
Yeah, I think
the
so.
Haloverse is very big and very wide. You've got ancient forerunners and sentient hive mind flowers,
it's
and like you can do whatever
Very
you
important
want.
library.
And a library.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, we're
This is the
probably.
bane of my existence.
It looks like we're going back to a Halo. I think we're going to have the Prometheans, the
Yeah.
Covenant, and the Flood
Yeah.
in Halo 6,
That'd be cool.
which would be great.
God, I hope so. Like,
You guys remember when you first saw the flood?
Still terrifies me.
So
I'm still
scary.
scared of
yeah,
flood.
that mission, the music
Remember that
was
music?
Yeah.
like
But
you're in
yeah.
that foggy forest.
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
shocked if we didn't get something. Even if Halo 6 isn't coming out this year, as I think it is and you think it's not, I would be dumbfounded if there wasn't something for Halo 6.
Yeah, I
at
agree.
E3
Master
this
Chief
A
in a
tease or
cloak.
something.
year. Yeah,
Yeah, he's got a different
He's
cloak
back in a
potato
cloak.
sack
He's in a
this
different
time.
cloak. It's
I'd appreciate that.
it's slightly more tattered. Okay, you remember when we did this last time?
He's crawling out of the dune instead of triumphantly walking across.
Yeah.
He's like,
He falls off the cliff.
Just in a dune buggy. So I've just been hanging out for 4 years.
makes sense. All right, that's it for news. Marketplace report. Alana Pierce, what can we spend our money on this week?
TT Isle of Man, Right on the Edge, Day 1 edition. March 6, Xbox One Enhanced. It is an legendary and deadly...
Yep. What?
I love the
a
you read these cold.
37-mile course that has been painstakingly recreated, challenging you to say, it's some kind of racing game.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy XV15
That
Royal
would be
Edition.
15.
yeah. That was
So I assume this
They
includes
like
all
the
of the
Roman
Final
extra...
Fantasy 1.
We have to say XV now. We don't know that it doesn't stand for
Oh my God.
No, we
What's it
don't.
called?
Xana
All right,
Blade
I'm sorry
Victory.
I
Final
interrupted. Let's go.
Fantasy is like a surefire for a numeral.
It's a very good game. I really like it. This includes...
What's the Royal Edition?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, including all add-on content with all
Yeah,
the
that one
All right,
underwent a
just the re-release.
lot
It's a
of
really good game.
updates too.
Yeah.
So
They did
Yeah.
fix it a lot.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can play as each character now, right? Gladiolus.
through, I
and
forget, there's like a lot of
Gladiolus.
DLC for that too as well.
Procto.
So,
Gladio.
Prompto?
Gladio, Prompto.
What's the English
Noctis.
boy's name?
The glasses with the cooks.
Yeah, the
Who
cook
with
boy.
the cooks?
What's his name?
Who cooks? The one that cooks.
Ignis?
Ignis?
Ignis.
Ignis.
Yes.
All right. Also, Scribblenauts Showdown
Sorry.
on March 6th. Fear Effects
Yes,
Sedna
hold on.
March...
Scribblenauts game on Xbox. I want to point out, Scribblenauts
Yeah.
has always been awesome. I
Yeah.
hope this is too. I
this is
haven't played
the
it yet.
multiplayer game, right?
It's multiplayer
It
centric.
says support single player against the AI or with up to 4 of your friends.
Yeah, I saw.
Fear Effects Sedna is a stealth action game. North, March 6th, is a classic cyberpunk atmosphere game with it's inspired by Blade Runner. Excellent. Way of the Passive Fist, March 7th. That's a brawler. It's like me trying to figure out based on all of these texts what these games are. 9 Parchments. This is a spell game that's coming out March 7th as well. One Eye Kut.
You reading these cold is my favorite part of the
One
show.
Eye Cook.
Where are we? One eye katuk.
One Eye, bad name. Bad game
One Eye,
name.
March 9th. That has a mix of sci-fi and fairy tale action.
Bad titles.
weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just calling it One Eye. Darwin Project, March 9th. That's Battle Royale on Ice.
It's,
Cool.
it's like Lisa Left Eye Lobes.
guys need to
Train
calm
Sim
down.
World Founders Edition is March 9th. That is a console launch exclusive and one of the biggest train simulators from PC that is coming to Xbox One.
In all seriousness, those kinds of games are huge in Europe.
Yeah, they are. They're crazy
They
popular.
are super popular.
All those ice road trucking simulators.
Euro Truck
It's so- it's
Simulator.
insane.
Farming Simulator.
Farming simulator.
Yeah. Marketplace, we have Rise of the Tomb Raider now on Xbox Game Pass, which makes me think the next Tomb Raider game is close to being officially announced.
Maybe E3.
Would
I
seem
think South by. South by Southwest starts this week.
Do they have a?
that soon, huh?
Don't know. But I'm wondering if they announce it soon. Could be
happen.
completely wrong.
They already did their Twitter tease.
Between
Yeah.
now and then, you've got South by GDC, PAX East, and then E3.
They wouldn't announce it at GDC. I don't imagine they do PAX.
I don't think
they
they
could
do PAX
but
as well. PAX is
they won't
show
do
now.
GDC.
They'll have the first parties fighting over them, and one of those first parties will announce it on their stage at E3.
I like
Yeah.
that too because
wouldn't
Microsoft
be
had Rise,
Rise.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually think it will probably be on Sony's stage just because.
Yeah, but I
it
don't think
tends
it'll
to
be an
Sony's
exclusive.
move is to like, oh, you guys kind of got like burned on this thing. Well, we're totally gonna like twist the knife by having Crystal Dynamics and Square on our stage
Yeah,
to
does-
announce the next game.
Is Square having a conference this year? I don't know if they are.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
sometimes
I mean,
so.
Bethesda.
Haven't announced. Oh yeah, the only ones who's announced so far is Bethesda.
Yeah, they released theirs.
Yay, I love theirs.
Me too.
March games with gold. We have Trials of the Blood Dragon, March 1 to 31 on Xbox One.
There's your
Super hot.
trials.
Super hot.
Oh, it's mine. I like
Brought
Trials.
it up earlier.
I don't think that's the one, but
It's not the one,
I do know what you're referring to.
right? I'm not crazy.
Yeah, Super Hot, you should definitely play. That's March 16 to April 15. Thank you, Xbox One. Brave, March 1 to 15, Xbox One and Xbox 360. And Quantum Conundrum, March 16 to 31 on Xbox One and Xbox 360. That was made by Kim Swift, who was one of the creators of Portal.
Yes. Good stuff. All right, let's do trivia and get out of here. Let's see where we stand. We've got Alana at 4 points, Miranda right behind at 3, Brandon right there as well, 2 points.
All right.
So
He's not right there.
I'm as close to right there as you can be.
2 behind, you know.
The only more I could be, the only right there more I could be is if I also had 3.
anyway, Tim V asks, we were talking a lot of Burnout recently. Which of the following classic Burnout titles came with content that was exclusive to Xbox? Was it Burnout 2, Point of Impact, Burnout 3, Takedown, Burnout Revenge, or Burnout Dominator?
Anyone have any idea?
You know your Burnout.
Zero
Nope.
clue.
Nope.
So I'm gonna go with C, Burnout Revenge, because I like revenge.
Should we all just make a pact? Like we'll each pick a different one.
Sure.
and then-
Sure. Well, I got
Well,
C.
it's a cutthroat game to see who's going to get that unlock block
It's
trophy.
so funny if none of us get it. If we all fail on this, and
pick
it's
the
like
wrong
whatever is left.
We'll just do this every week, and then it'll be 3 ways high at the end.
I'm going to go with Takedown,
God dang it!
B.
I was gonna say Takedown. My line of thinking was
You created the rule.
I know.
Too late, man. Do something else.
My own worst enemy. My line of thinking was exclusive content is kind of a relatively like recent thing, and Takedown was pretty recent. So
Yeah.
that's really all I had to go on. It's super thin, but I mean,
Oh, no, I thought of it.
Burnout Revenge or Burnout Dominator.
Maybe
Text 556.
No,
right?
you have to go through. You have to be A or D.
Oh,
Yeah, Miranda went with
Yeah.
Revenge.
oh yeah, I'll do Point of Impact. Fine.
Okay. I'm glad one of you picked the correct one.
Are you disappointed that we're guessing?
Isn't
Yeah, a
me?
little bit.
I'm sorry.
Because Dominator was not even an Xbox game.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
was
think
like,
so.
that doesn't seem like a.
It was Burnout 2.
No!
Damn it!
Dang it!
Yes. The rule doesn't fit.
The rule walked all along.
Oh, man.
Man, that was
Good job.
I have
4.
no idea.
Hey, you,
We're tied.
3.
You know what?
3.
now
can't
I'm
lose.
now I'm right there.
You are. I shouldn't have said anything.
You know what? Never mind. At
If
least
you'd
I'm
like
not
to
losing.
try and stump the panel, please send
Just
your
like
Xbox. Yeah, send your Xbox trivia question to unlocked@ign.com. I need the question. I need 4 multiple choice answers. Please note the correct answer in your email. And we're playing for that big trophy that we've got a fan of ours that's kindly making. It's in
So nice.
progress. It's being put together.
If it turns out to be an inside sex blob that you just stuck on a platform,
Well, you
stuck one of our names to
trophy
it.
will not be delivered until Q1
yeah,
2019.
exactly.
Well, now next year's trophy has to
Yeah.
be that. So,
Someone
You can
spray
use
paints
the
it
one
gold.
that we got for the
We
office and
unbox,
just put
yeah.
someone's name on it.
yeah, could work.
No.
All right, good stuff. Let's hit the road, Miranda. Anything you want to promote?
Yes, finally. So I guess by the time you listen to this, hopefully tomorrow.
Either and could be end of day today.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
one way or another, tomorrow, Thursday, I'm going to Valve with Tom Marks, and we're going to go see a new video game. Now you're
What?
not
They don't-
excited.
No. Hold on. They only make money anymore. They
Yeah,
don't make
exactly.
video
They're
games.
making a new video game.
Very exciting.
So prepare to
Oh,
be
yeah, they-
disappointed. They're making a card game. It's got Dota. So I'm very excited, as you may know. So we're going to be covering that live. We have permission to cover as we see it. So please stay tuned to IGN's Instagram and Twitter. We're going to be there later in the afternoon.
I believe the event
It
starts
starts around
at 4 p.m.
Yeah,
Pacific.
so Pacific time. So please stay around then. And if you guys have any questions about the game, please let me know. I'm very excited to see it, and I hope you guys are too.
Great. Where can we ask you those Dota and Artifact questions?
You can ask at Havoc Grows on the Havoc with the K on Twitter, preferably. I'm also on Instagram and pretty much everywhere else.
Fantastic. Alana?
I am working on a lot of things that I can't tell you about right now, but one of them is I'm producing the International Women's Day live stream tomorrow, which I'm very, very excited about. So that's Thursday.
On that.
Yeah, we have a bunch of cool people who are actually.
I don't have a calendar invite though. I need a calendar.
I need to do that today because I was out of office with no signal the last 2 days and it was the worst timing ever. But yeah, I didn't want it to be just girls on the stream, but we're playing games specifically that women have worked on. We have like Gav from the UK is doing a thing, like lots of cool people will be on that, and we're raising money for charity. And I've been wanting to do a charity stream at IGN for such a long time, and this is the first one we managed to do. So we're raising money for the Malala Foundation and Girls Who Code, and it starts at 1 p.m. Pacific time. I would suggest checking us out on YouTube because that has Super Chat integration, which is easiest for donations if you want to get behind that. But yeah, I'm really excited. Should be a lot of fun. 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. PT tomorrow.
Cool. Can I say what I'm involved with? Yeah. I'm playing Cuphead. I'm one of the people playing Cuphead.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I played Style Savvy.
I didn't know what game you ended up playing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool.
I didn't talk with the developers much because I don't know as much because that information's not as available, but I just wanted to play Style Savvy Fashion Forward, so I did.
Very good. Yeah, there's lots of cool games. You got Portal, we've got Halo, like we got, stuff that you guys will all know and love. And it's going to be fun, like retrospective on cool things women have made. So
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Brandon?
We gotta plug those socials.
Oh yeah, I always forget to. I am on all of these social medias at Charizard. That's it. It's my name in the middle of Charizard.
Right now I'm working on a very long project with you. Second month in a row that I'm doing an IGN first. This month is State of Decay. You heard us gush about it for too long, so I'm not going to say anything more. Except to check out our 25-minute gameplay video that Ryan and I put up this morning. If you're listening to this on Wednesday or Thursday, it'll already be live on the site. And stick around for the rest of the month because we have a lot of cool stuff coming. I'm on Twitter at Brandon Tyrell. It's just my name. Nothing clever. And that's it. That's it for me. That's all I'm doing. Just State of Decay 2.
Just a lot of State of Decay.
From now until forever.
There are worse fates than that.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true.
You can find me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. I'm working with Brandon on that State of Decay 2 stuff. He's doing most of it though, let's be honest.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
No, well, and I'm
I
trying
feel
to
like I'm caught in the middle of a bromance.
So we keep
what it
trading
feels
back and
like.
forth.
You're not allowed to look
they're
at me
not
with
too
those eyes
close.
after we talked about sex
You got a
dolls
little
for
bit.
like
We
a
don't
half
want them to
hour.
have to sit next to each other all the time. We'll start
Yeah.
holding hands under the table.
I don't think we'll do that.
Yeah.
I'm his boss
on,
now,
guys.
so it's extra weird.
That's right. You're my direct report now.
No, secret romance.
When did that happen? Was that on Friday?
Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I officially took over as Xbox editor, and I am
Congratulations.
now reporting to Ryan.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff.
I'm the platform god now.
Platform.
Seeing all the
God.
platforms.
Cool.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
We'll see.
Because I spent a whole career doing that.
As your direct report, we'll see.
Yeah, you'll see how you
Man,
feel about
have
me
some
No, 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 no.
in a
optimism.
year's time.
We've got along great for 3 years. I'm sure it's going to be nothing but sunshine and hand holding from here on out.
Prompter is aggressively changing
It says,
colors at
please
us.
stop.
Like, please.
Yeah.
Stop. Split,
Dan Parker
I'm sorry,
wants
Dan.
to eat lunch.
Yeah, I'm
Anyway,
sorry. Two of us are late to a meeting.
Yeah, State of
I'm
Decay
late.
2 IGN first. Please check that out. And yeah, I gave my Twitter, so that's sort of the bulk of the stuff that we want you guys to be paying attention to is all that State of Decay 2 stuff because it's the first time anybody's seeing this game, and we're legit excited about it. Like, this is not.
I'm 100%. Like
Yeah.
watching the footage today, I'm just like, man, I'd rather just be playing State of Decay 2 right now.
Yeah, good
Me
stuff.
too.
All right,
Same.
thanks everybody, and we will see you next week.
Bye.